Hello, this is Reverend Bill, and today is December 23rd, a couple of days away from Christmas. So, you haven't gotten your shopping in, I would recommend you probably do it toot sweet. Um, Luckily, mine is all done. So, today I thought I would do a review of Deadpool versus Wolverine. This is a movie that came out, I don't know, a while ago in the movie theaters. I meant to see it. There was a lot of interest around it, but I never got around to it. Mostly because I don't know, movies don't seem to be the same as they used to. It might be just me, but I don't think so. Back in the day, if something came out, you had to see it in the movie theater. But maybe it's because the quality of movies suffered in the last couple of years, um, especially of the superhero genre. But I just don't see people rushing out anymore to catch movies like they used to. Anyway, so I wanted to see this because of all the bad movies, the string of bad movies, especially from the superhero genre that have come out. And I had some pretty high expectations for this. I liked the first one. It was new. It was inventive. It was it was get gutsy. They took some risks in it, breaking down the fourth wall. Also, it was kind of crude, which was funny. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that the whole daring thing with Deadpool worked out pretty well. The second movie was okay. I wasn't as fond of it as the first one, although it had Zazie Beetz in it, and I love that woman. So anything that she's in has got to be okay with me. Um, it didn't seem to be as new and fresh as the first one, but I thought overall it was fine. So with that in mind, I was kind of hoping that with this next one, we could actually go back to having a good experience seeing superhero movies. Overall, it got pretty good reviews. I don't think I saw any negative reviews. I think pretty much everyone who saw it liked it, so that was good. It was good enough for me to spend money on Amazon. I don't usually spend money for streaming because you wait a couple of months, they're going to be on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. But I figured, around Christmas and I got nothing else to do, I might as well catch up and watch it and splurge and spend the $5.99. So I made an exception, and it was Saturday night, and I figured let's go for it. My first observation is Hugh Jackman has got to hang it up. I like Hugh Jackman, by the way. I thought he was a great Wolverine. I think that anyone who tries to fulfill his shoes is really going to find a hard time to do that. I was a Wolverine fan back, geez, I don't know, in the '70s and '80s with Chris Claremont uh, penning those, um, writing the comic books. So I was huge Wolverine fan. And of course, that carried on to the movies. They brought the character over, and I thought that was great too. So I thought I thought Hugh Jackman did an outstanding job of Wolverine. But Bob, it's time to move on. He's beginning to look like Sylvester Stallone in his last couple of Rockies, where he just doesn't look like whatever he's doing to his body, getting that physique. It just doesn't look like he should be doing it. The body doesn't is built, but it doesn't look like it should look like that. It doesn't look healthy, with those muscles. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who they're going to replace him with, but if you ask me, they gotta hang it up. Oh, actually, I meant to run the trailer in the background. Let me set that off. There we go. You can give something to watch. I forgot about that. So anyway, yeah. So basically, they need to find another Wolverine. Um, and the funny thing is, up until the mess with uh, what's his name, Aaron Taylor Johnson with Craven the Hunter, I think he would have worked out fine. Maybe he still would, um, but I don't know. I mean, I think maybe they could go with him. I think he would work. He would work out. He'd have to have probably bigger muscles, but I think he could pull off a Wolverine. He's young enough. Um, anyway, so that's it. My first observation is that. The second one is I cannot believe this is the movie that people were holding on to as going to save the industry. Um, I found nothing redeeming about this movie whatsoever. I wish I could talk to some of these critics that loved it. I really did not. I found very little redeeming about it. From the very get go, I was watching the clock. Just to give you an idea, in these other movies, Deadpool would go on and on and on to annoy his co-stars and would probably be laughing along with it because we got the jokes and we'd like to see those people irritated. Well, I find in this movie that I was one of the people getting irritated. I wanted him to shut up. I found him pretty obnoxious. I just thought he was way too much. And it's something else too. I liked the way in the first movie especially, and somewhat in the second movie, his humor was crude. There was nothing that was too sacred not to make fun of which I liked. I thought that was different. But it's like in the third movie, he just used it as a crutch. It didn't sneak up on you, so you kind of expected it. I mean, humor is the kind of thing where it's funny if something happens that you don't expect. Someone once said to me something like, if a guy walks down the stairs and makes it safely and walks in the kitchen, that's not funny. You expect him to. But if he's going down the stairs and he trips on his son's roller skates and falls down, that's funny because you don't expect that to happen. Well, with this, you expect it. So there was nothing really funny about his jokes because you're just kind of going, yeah, another one. Okay, fine. And I just found I found that they didn't really do much for me. They just kind of annoyed me. So yeah, I felt like one of those people that wanted him to shut up. Let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah. If somebody wants to tell me what the central plot of this movie was, I could really use the helping hand. It seemed to me like there was just a whole bunch of things that were thrown against the wall. I couldn't see a plot at all. There were a lot of places that people were going to, and a lot of fighting and but I didn't see where it was going, any of it. It was just like the ever ready bunny. It just kept on going and going and going, and none of it made any sense. It seemed rudderless and all over the place. And when things seemed to get stuck, they relied on the old cameos. Just throw some some cameos in there. No, I didn't see Flash because I heard how bad it was. But from my understanding is the problem with Flash is they had too many superheroes in it. And that was one of my concerns for those of you who watched my review of the trailer of Superman. I thought that before they threw in like Hawk Girl and Metamorpho or I don't know, who else was there, Green Lantern. They needed to do a movie of a foundation of just Superman before they throw together a merry band of misfits. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It seemed to me to be too much when you're throwing different cameos and cameos and cameos. And you're not working at the plot. You just throw people in there. And there was quite a few scenes where I was watching to see where these cameos were going to go, and none of them did. They could even just been left out of the movie. They didn't add anything. No substance. They didn't bring any substance at all. They stood around. They made jokes at each other. they showed their accents or whatever they had that they thought the shtick was, and then they fought or they died, or that's that's pretty much it. Uh, if you're going to bring these people on, give them a role. Don't just have them stand around and uh, and say nothing. You know, grunt something. Usually, grunt. They have to be just disgruntled superheroes. As far as the Wolverine character, I didn't like him because he was full of self pity and was whining all the way through. I don't like whiny superheroes. There was very little plot wise that he added. Just kind of, oh, things are going bad for me. Why did it have to happen to me? I don't know. I did not find him a convincing Wolverine. I know he's from another timeline or whatever. And God, I'm so sick of timelines. Really, I am. But yeah, he's different timeline. I hope they're not going to use the guy again. I just did not like that rendition of Wolverine. A lot of other characters, which I didn't quite understand their existence. Nice Pool. I mean, what did he add? Um, Dog Pool or Dog Pool or whatever he called him. I mean, these characters, they didn't add anything. It's like they just threw them in there to take up 5 minutes of time because they ran out of things. It seems like, hey, let's make a 2 hour plus movie with 90 minutes of material. And they just threw all these characters in that did nothing and added nothing. Another one is, where they met the others. You heard about the others, and then they finally met the others. And who cares? I mean, all we got from the others, I'll tell you what we got from the others. We got to see that Jennifer Garner could still fill out that costume, that leather costume from Elektra. Good for her, by the way. We got to see that Wesley Snipes didn't let himself go. He could still play Blade. Good for him. What else do we get from that? I don't know. I didn't really get much else from that. The girl that was, I don't know what her name was, X35 or whatever her code name was. That was her from the, I think it was 2017 Logan movie. So they brought her back, but in all honesty, who cares? I mean, she wasn't really near and dear to my heart. Tears didn't come to my eyes to see her back in the movie. Didn't care. Channing Tatum, the horrible accent. Really could have done without his character. Once again, I think that whole meeting with the others just wasted, 15 minutes, just while everyone grunted at each other and snarled at each other, and then basically decided that they would all go fight together. Waste of time. They added nothing to the film other than, like I said, seeing Jennifer Garner could still fill out Elektra costume. That was pretty impressive. Let's see. The movie seemed, there's about 2 or 3 times I thought the movie could end. And I was like, yeah, this is probably going to end now. And then I kind of looked at it and I saw, oh no, there's like half an hour left. There's 20 minutes left. It just kept on going on and on. Like I said, it's the ever-ready buddy of movies. It just wouldn't quit. The climax, if you will, was having the two heroes colliding, making a collision between matter and antimatter, which I think most of us know. In the movie, I think it might have blown up the room. And that would do a lot more damage. I think we all know that than just blow up the room or what have you. It would be devastating, but that wouldn't fit in with the movie. So I guess they didn't do that. Let's see. I also didn't like the way that they kept switching the villains. It seemed to be musical chairs. I mean, especially with Paradox Cassandra. I think the bad guys started to be Paradox, then it became Cassandra, then it went to Paradox again, and then back to Cassandra. and I'm not even sure. I think maybe both. They both ended up being bad, but they weren't working together. I don't know. Completely disjointed. Um, the cameos of Chris Evans, Henry Cavill, and Marina Baccarin did nothing for the movie. Um, sure, with the whole thing with Chris Evans, I'm sure they thought it was a cute thing having him be Johnny Storm. Maybe a lot of people didn't know he was Johnny Storm before Captain America. Um, that was maybe a chuckle. That was okay. Um, Henry Cavill was completely wasted. Marina Baccarin, I don't know. I mean, they could have used her more if they're going to bring her in. I just didn't think she was utilized correctly. And as far as the director, Sean Levy, here's where I'm going to sound a little strange. I know he made $1 billion off this movie. I do, and that's great. I'm sure there were extenuating circumstances, but I went into his history, and I got to tell you, I saw nothing on his resume that would make me think that he should be getting $200 million to direct a film. He did Stranger Things, which is a TV show, a few episodes. I think he did a movie, Free Guy, with Ryan Reynolds. Don't know how successful that was, didn't look. But I mean, he really has done nothing that really was worthy of giving him $200 million. And it makes me wonder, why do they give out so much money to directors that are unproven? I mean, with Captain Marvel, and I'm forgetting that woman's name, but she was another one. Why they gave? I think the only thing she did is I think she did the movie Nomad, which was kind of almost a movie that could have played like a documentary, kind of. I don't know why they would give her that money to do Marvel, Captain Marvel. But anyway, the Marvels. Let's see. But I will say this. Before this movie, I thought that the whole superhero fatigue was an exaggeration. I thought it was just bad movie fatigue. After watching this movie, I think I'm pretty much done with superhero movies, to be honest with you. I've been fed a terrible, steady diet of really bad superhero movies now for years. The Spider-Man was okay. And then trying to think if there's anything else worthwhile since Endgame. I don't honestly remember anything that was decent. And I'm getting to the point now that I'm at a point where I don't think I can get excited anymore for superhero movies. I mean, they did a great job. Marvel back in the early days with Iron Man 1 and 3, and then with the Avengers for the most part was great. Captain America, of course, that tied in with the Avengers movies. That was good. On the DC side, Christopher Nolan's Batmans were pretty good. Wasn't crazy about the third one, but they really did things right. I don't know what happened, but I don't think I can get excited for another superhero movie. I think whether it's cause and effect. I don't know whether the bad movies are making me feel like this, or maybe the majority of people feel this way, and they just stop trying. They're kind of giving up because of lack of interest. It's kind of the cause and effect. I don't know, but I know with me, I used to get really excited for superhero movies, and I don't know anything that would actually get my interest going right now. They've botched everything. Even when they had a promising start with Wonder Woman, they ruined it with Wonder Woman 84. Really bad. And Pedro Pascal really annoys me, and he was probably the worst thing about that movie. So I don't know. I just honestly think I'm going to need a long break before I go to watch another superheroes movie. they seem to have lost their ability to entertain me. So anyway, with that, I hope everyone has a really good Christmas. You hope Santa's good to you and you get everything that you wanted. And I will talk to you again. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And have a great Christmas. Bye-bye.